waifu. All these episodes we binging. 3 points how the Benz is, and it started just with some friendship. Now the videos is endless.
One Piece episode 43 live reaction. The fight continues, and now Nami's paperwork is up for grabs here. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of this.
She's like really good at this. I mean, I always figured she was, but damn.
Luffy's like, why is there blood on this pen? Yep. He just ignored. He's like, anyway, back to my villain monologue.
I wonder what his like real plan is though, because like realistically, did we need to chill here for that long? But I guess okay, that answered it. Never mind. East Blue it is.
I think you're wrong in assuming we need to be using her to begin with, but
Yeah. It reminds me of like when Gary from Pokemon was like going through a midlife crisis and it's about friendship. Okay. Do they want to fight for you?
yeah.
What?
No way. No way. He's holding that whole sword back with his hand.
Dude, who is he? All right, Luffy's OP. Luffy's like
He's literally
actually
broken.
OP. He's broken. Like Arlong never stood a chance. What the hell?
I mean, I knew that the show was gonna make him win, but I didn't think they were gonna make him win. Like they're just gonna make him stronger. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, he you know, facilitates his weakness or something. No, he's just better. It's just built different.
Dude.
And sure, you could be like, oh, well, he harnessed the heart of the cards, but like that's just a BS excuse for plot armor.
And I love how Arlong is like unfazed still. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you've been so weak.
He's like, I got this.
He's going to keep feeding her and buying her clothes she likes.
He literally thinks he's a pimp, bro.
He thinks he's their sugar daddy. He literally is a pimp.
Yeah, you can't say the first thing and then go back and like the second one matters.
Arlong, I think, really believes it, which is the scary part.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know Sanji went through the ringer, but I can't help but keep on thinking that he's just like chilling because of the way he's sitting. The fact that he's trying to light up a cigarette is getting me mad because I'm like, help. Not that
I know,
Luffy
like
needs the help, but...
Zoro's earned the break because he died twice. But like Sanji, if we're doing nothing, you know, like you said, not you know, Luffy, I guess, can solo this dude now, but
man, that's one slow falling desk.
for real.
Arlong just
Luffy,
standing there.
relax. I know you're upset, but this was kind of like.
Great, now he stopped time. Got so mad.
Has time travel abilities already?
Dunzo. Oh, Arlong, come on. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, there's no way you didn't know that this was a possibility. You have a giant saw sword and you're in a room full of paper.
Oh! Aw.
God, bro. Like I hate Arlong, bro.
Yeah, he's a dirtbag. Oh,
Oh, damn. Yeah, you said it. You said it for like the thing that's sad is he genuinely believes that like he's doing the right thing, or like it's okay that he's doing this.
yeah.
He's like, "How dare you? I spent 8 years torturing her and making her do my bidding."
Yeah. No, it's not a fight to the death. I swear these two.
They need like their own show, bro. I'm gonna be real. Like,
Yeah,
they just
for
need
real.
their own spinoff.
100%. Just doing bro stuff.
Yeah, One Piece bros, just doing One Piece things. Are they all like that because of the papers and shit?
I think they all just got stuck like that.
Uh-oh. Everybody refresh.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez.
Quite the cut.
Oh, he's gonna break his nose, dude. No? Yep. He's gonna break that fucker's nose.
Yo, Luffy's cracked. Like, Luffy's cracked strong.
Yeah. Luffy is literally that kid who people pick on, like, who target to mug because they think, like, oh, we could take him. Look, he's scrawny as shit. But then he eats all of them. Like, just eats them alive. Like, he's literally a psychopath.
Yeah. He doesn't even just kill them. You're right. He like, literally eats them. He ingests them. Like, some crazy overkill shit for no reason. I'm sorry, Arlong. You never had this.
Yeah, it was honestly, bro. I'll shake your fish hand. It was a good run. It was you put in the work. You know, dragging out shark swords and shooting water or whatever you did, and the jaw thing. It was good. It was interesting. But we gotta go. It's done. We're over here.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Show's over.
Yeah, it's been real, Fishman. Salute. Just kidding. Go die in a ditch, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you might want to hop out of there, Luke.
Jump out a window.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Even if this thing collapsed on him, though, he'd be fine.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine. We're not worried about Luffy. I'm just worried about the infrastructure damage he'll do to the island. Nami, he's the main character. Let's go.
Damn. Bro, these shots of him are so metal.
He is ugly.
I know. I love it.
I do like that line.
All right, fair enough.
Although I kind of feel like it would have been a little more symbolic, or if she had destroyed the room. But you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Damn, shit caused like a small, windstorm.
Meanwhile,
What the hell?
they
How'd y'all
literally
get in the
got
water?
blown into the sea, or
Oh.
they jumped in the sea, I guess, as it was crumbling. Zoro, bro.
You know what, bro? Take a nap. Honestly, go ahead.
Yeah.
You fucking earned it. Go ahead.
100% deserved it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe actually wake up right now. Right now. Like.
Oh.
Maybe, oh.
Who are these people?
Oh my
Bro,
god.
Zoro can't catch a break out here.
when people talk about like power scaling in these shonen shows, now I see why they're like, nah, Zoro could take so and so, because they're just monsters. They're just animals. They're literal not humans.
Yeah, the new argument: who wins, Zoro or Goku?
I don't know, bro. Goku's got his work cut out for him. Yeah.
Luffy happened. Are you kidding me? If I was, are we watching the same fight? Like Luffy, 1,000% has that in the bag. Like
That's what I'm saying.
I will bet
bro.
my entire life savings on that. Like if I was a bystander there. Like who's taking bets now? Because I promise you, it's Luffy. Oh, okay, cool shot. Cool shot.
I can't with these two. They're so extra, and I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. They're just too much.
That shot, bro.
Is he okay? Well, it's a relative statement. I mean,
Aw. Aw.
oh, Usopp's like, I get it. We won. Oh, poor Sanji. It's all right, man. Maybe if you put your life on the line a little bit more, you'll shut up, Usopp.
All right.
Is he giving me mad Naruto vibes?
Hey. When you don't know how to smile for the camera. Oh my god.
Oh
Stop.
my god.
Go home, dude.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're so done with this.
Literally
Luffy,
forgot this guy existed.
honestly, Luffy just killed them all. We're done. So I'm done with them.
He said fluke as it was. I swear y'all weren't watching the same fight.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They're like, wow, he really had you on the rope, Luffy. Like, really? Were we watching the same exact fight? Because I have questions about your
They're not,
judgment
though.
skills.
Because he just dropped Arlong.
Bro, was that Zoro that just stepped behind them?
Yeah, of course it
This
was.
man does not clock out, bro.
Oh, oh, Zoro's goated.
Yeah. Like, One Piece as a show is cool, but Zoro as a character is fucking goated, bro.
He really is.
He's kind of like the best thing that's happened to this show. I'm just calling it now.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn, she Pebble skipped him across the water.
Pebble skipped him. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for real. Let's get all the villagers on these fools.
Ah.
Damn, spineless ass motherfuckers, bro. Damn. You know what, Nami? I say even if he agrees to all this, just whoop his ass on principle. Like, just fuck him up anyway. Because it's not like he don't deserve it. He's like, you better get ready for about 900 more ish like shenanigans of this shit. Because I'll be back. Usopp, you guys were in big trouble the second you decided to become pirates. That's just territory, bro. It's part of the job. Oh, was this not everybody on the island? I was under the assumption that like the whole village came up here.
Me too.
The shot of the crew all laughing and enjoying. Oh my god, his mouth. It's just so big. Why?
Sanji's like, this cigarette will light itself eventually if I just wait here long enough. Can we bring her on the crew?
Yeah, for real. Is that against the rules? I don't even care if it is. Let's break the rules. We're fucking pirates. Like, why do we care about the rules? Bring Nojiko too. Oh, thank God this dude can't talk anymore. Ugh. Oh, dude. That's right, bro. The way he killed Bellamere-san.
Yeah.
Not cool. Never forgive him. And they branded a child. Like, dude, this guy sucked.
He was pretty evil. Oh.
God, dude, there's so much fucking emotion in this arc. Assed out. Dead. Also dead. Super dead.
Damn. He had an ice cream sundae on his head with all those lumps. Oh, man.
Aw.
Damn, she probably would have hooked up with Sanji, too, if it was the right time.
Dude, you know she would have, bro. Oh, my God. She'd have been like, Sanji been like, yo, you got a light? She's like, oh, I got a light. Damn, bro.
Worlds apart.
Missed opportunity. Honestly, give me the show where Bellamere-san was the main character.
Bro, they got Gary out here.
Gary put in double time on One Piece and SpongeBob. Oh my God.
What an interesting phone system.
I was about to say, how does this machine work? Is he talking through the snail?
That's cool.
Okay, so I guess that'll be the inciting incident to draw conflict towards their crew. Is like there's a bounty out on them, so random people will just come in and be like, "Yeah, I want to kill you for the money."
Yeah, because now we're at a point where it's the core crew each have their arc, right? So
Right,
it's like now it's like, okay, we're going towards the Grand Line, but if we were just straight shooting it there, we'd probably need some other shenanigans to delay our arrival, right? So
Sure.
1,000 episodes later, I'm sure the Navy comes in quite frequently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like a little hesitant to talk about this arc as a whole because I'm looking right here and it says the next episode. It seems to be.
Yeah, I think we have one more. I think we have one more
it's gonna
episode before,
be like
this actual Arlong stuff is done.
Yeah, kind of like a Sanji thing with the last one.
Yeah,
where, like,
exactly.
Officially setting out with them. So I'll reserve some of my like arc, review for after that episode. So hang in there for that. But yeah, I mean, just quick thoughts on this one. Luffy, like I said, is just like ridiculously overpowered, like insane. He's like insanely overpowered. I mean, like every protagonist is, but like, oh my gosh, he just makes it look easy. And yeah, I was happy to see the village get liberated. I would have kept that Marine guy back there and been like, no, like you're gonna stay here and you're gonna send one of your boys back to do this and like do this whole thing instead of letting him go. But such is the show. Like I said, I'm gonna save a lot of the stuff, but there were some cool flashbacks with this, and Luffy kind of like destroying that past, through the papers in the top room and all that kind of stuff was very symbolic and very cool, and it was nice to see for Nami. And then that big shout at the end where he's like, "You're my friend." It was wholesome. It was really nice, and Nami definitely took that to heart, and she needed to hear that. Because Luffy really does care at the end of the day. Like, you just don't want to be on his bad side is really what it is. And I have to say, I will say this, because although this might not be the end of the arc per se, there might be one more episode, this is certainly the end of Arlong. So I will say my thoughts on him. I liked him as a villain, and I liked him as a villain because I hated him as a person, right? And I think that's what made him a compelling villain. Like, sure, there are other villains that you might hate, and it's like for pretty, it's like, okay, because this is just like a poorly written character or something like that. I mean hate because like he genuinely was scum, but I like the idea that he is like, no, this is like, what do you mean? Like, this is like 100% correct. He's a very different view on life for sure. But I like this. I like that when they make the villains like truly believe it, and it's like not. So the goal isn't so extravagant that it's like, dude, you couldn't actually believe that that's the right thing to do, because it's like so ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like he is I don't even know what sort of thing you would call this, but he's a speciesist. That's probably not a term, but you get my point, right? Where it's like, to him, the way he views the world is through strength and dominance, and it is basically his God-given right. He literally references heaven multiple times within his argument. Like, it is a God-ordained right for him as a fish person to be above and to rule over and subjugate humans and people and species that are lesser than him. To him, everyone, right? So to him, if you fit everything into that worldview and that paradigm, he doesn't really see a problem with it, right? So like that's why he's so blatant and flippant about telling Luffy how he feels or like what the deal is. You know what I mean? Because he's like, yeah, that's how that works. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how you don't get this. So it was like, it wasn't like super deep, the arc, but it definitely added this interesting, like philosophical, perception onto the fight in a sense. Luffy isn't like all that there in terms of like, he's not like very profound. So a lot of it ended up just being like, oh, this triggers Nami. I'm going to destroy it. Nami is my friend. That's what I'll do for Nami. If you peel back the layers a little bit, like there is more to it than that. And Luffy does say it a bit in a very simplistic way throughout the course of the fight. But I thought that it was nice having Arlong kind of pick up some of the slack where like Luffy isn't, the most savvy with his words. Arlong's monologues and stuff like that, being that as an audience, we know that we're supposed to think the opposite. Added some depth to their fight and like what was at stake, if that makes sense. So I liked Arlong as a villain. I think so far he's been my favorite villain, and I think you need a good villain for a good arc. A lot of times the antagonist is equally as important as the protagonist, sometimes more important. So just hats off to that. I think he was the best one we've had so far. I'm hoping that we could top him in the future arcs. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I mean, like you, I'll save a lot of my arc thoughts for, till next episode when everything kind of officially wraps up. But, I definitely agree. I think I liked Arlong as a villain just because he was the most consistently villainous throughout the, like, I don't know. A lot of the other villains that we come across, like some of them are, they kind of seem more like, just victims of whatever their circumstance was, and they just kind of fell into this rut of like, well, I've been fucked over, so I'm just gonna fuck other people over, instead of like stopping and asking yourself like, what are you doing and why? Where Arlong, it's like you said, like it's not this like, oh, he's just misunderstood, he's like, it's just he's the world did him dirty and he's out to like get some sort of justice or pay event. It's like, no, he's evil. He's bad to the bone because he is. Like he's messed up dude because he fundamentally thinks wrong, like incorrectly about people and fishmen and the place that each of these species takes in this world, and like that's what makes him messed up. Like I was saying, it was so messed up to hear him like ranting on and on about like, I'm gonna use Nami and I'm gonna make her do this and do this and she'll be our perfect tool for, because he wasn't even saying that stuff out of like some heightened emotional state. Like that's genuinely how he thinks, and that's genuinely how he views people like Nami and Luffy, and Sanji and everybody, calling them all like lowly humans, weak humans. Like he genuinely just has an incorrect assumption about his species and other species and where they intermingle and belong in society. And now some people might be like, well, to be fair, like, well, if you had that kind of power as a fishman, you might come up with that premise too. I say nay, you're incorrect, because I would point to something like Demon Slayer, a character like Rangoku. I believe that there are characters and archetypes that show that when you have power, it doesn't innately lead you to abusing it and holding it over people's head, but rather gives you a moral obligation to help those that are weaker than you and help people who can't defend themselves and don't have the kind of strength you do. So that is my point, in that I believe that Arlong is just fundamentally skewed. He's just something in the brain went wrong, and he's just like, no, I really am that fishman. Like I think like Jesus, step aside, because Arlong, like he's that full of himself, and it felt very, very good, albeit like you said, from Luffy, who seems to be scary broken, like not even like busted or OP. Like that dude is just broken. He can just like do seemingly whatever he needs to be able to do to win a fight. But nonetheless, it did feel very good to see Arlong get his well overdue comeuppance.
Yeah, for sure. I'm debating on whether I should save the Luffy talk for after this episode or talk about it here, because I feel maybe to talk about it here, just because this was the fight right in the arc. It's funny, I'm getting older. Not that I'm old, but like older, and starting to, being that we've been at this anime thing for a little bit now, I'm starting to just pick up on certain tropes and just like the way that certain anime and just shows in general are structured, and what I come to like, what I come to dislike, things that I just have to accept as a reality, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like coming to the realization, really, it's probably funny because most of you would be like, well, no, duh. But it's like, I'm really coming to the realization that like in some of these shonen here, that it's like whenever it's the main character, like in a fight especially, or just like any of the crew in shonen like this, it's a shame, because because now that I'm older and I understand these things, there are like no stakes for me anymore. Which is something that's a little sad. And I guess I'm just saying this because it's just like One Piece is an older anime-ish. So it's like, they were doing the same thing here, and I don't know how it'll pan out later, but it's just like this anime specifically really drove it home, like how obvious that was, you know what I mean? That there isn't, because of like how overpowered Luffy is. It's like, for like a split second in the beginning, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And then I'm like, it's not even close. Like, it's like, it's not even close. It's like miles apart. You know what I mean? Like their power level and all that kind of stuff. So, maybe it's silly of me and it's a waste of my breath, but I am excited for later on. And I hope that this show, that it challenges Luffy and his ideals and his worldview and his philosophy on life. And it really, like, there are some things that can shake him to the core, because we know at the end of the day that, you know, he's a protagonist, you know? So it's like, I am very excited for those moments because right now it seems that he is like quite literally invincible. And like, I get that, but it's like, it's hard for you to even notice that he's not, if that makes sense. You know, you see some other shonen and it's like, it seems like, oh, that could have been close, but wait a minute, he's a protagonist. So it's not like necessarily a knock to One Piece specifically, because like I said, I've realized now that this is just shonen, but I guess this show makes it like really, really makes it abundantly obvious that they do this. So I am very excited for later on when I hope that there is some, you know, there's a lot of you know, scenes and dialogue and all that kind of stuff that makes me think for even just a second that I'm like, Luffy might not actually have this, you know. That's what I'm excited for, because then that keeps me engaged in the show. And at the end of the day, I will always remember that like Luffy does have this, whether it takes this episode, this arc, or whatever, like he's eventually going to have this. But at least taking me like in that moment and taking me for that ride in that moment definitely pays dividends for me as an audience member when watching the show. So kind of a long rant because I was just trying to formulate my words here and like pick the right things to say. And I may have not nailed that, but yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with it right now, you know, and his character specifically.
Yeah.
True.
No, I mean, I you know, I agree. One Piece is trash. No, I'm kidding. I do. I also like, you know, I think it's interesting when you're in a position like ours and you're not watching this show for the first time, or this isn't even like the first shonen we're watching, because you end up, especially because we've watched so many other types of, you know, other kinds of the same show, you're forced to look at it from an analytical standpoint almost, and you're forced to be like, okay, like, I know that this show runs 1,000 episodes long, and I know that Luffy is in episode 1,000. So I know that he's not going to die at any point before then. I know he's going to be fine. I know, relatively speaking, probably most of this crew is going to be fine. So, you know, I get that it's not so much like the suspense in the, oh, are they going to make it? Are they not? But like the how they're going to do it. Yeah. But to be fair, the how they do it does get deflated when you already know that they're somehow going to do it, because then you end up like honing in on the how. And if the how doesn't work for you, if any part of it doesn't make sense, it like falls apart that much more, in my opinion. That's why I was like, you know, that's why I think like my mind naturally gravitated towards and picked apart some of these moments that we've seen all throughout the show where it's like, wait a minute, why didn't they just do that? Or like, what, hold on, why? Because I know Luffy's going to win X fight that he gets into, okay? I'm not for a second, like, worried about Luffy. But then it just makes me hone in on, like, okay, how did he get out of this then? And if it, like, you know what I mean? So then when you start really thinking about it, and you're like, okay, that doesn't, like, make a whole lot of sense. And like you said, this isn't the only shonen to do it, but once you're looking at it from that angle, it just, all of those things become so much more blatant and so much more apparent and in your face, and you can't look away from them. And you're like, okay, cool. So I agree that I want, because right now, if I'm being honest, I don't like Luffy, like, as a character. I think he's a cool, you know, he's got the MC thing down with like, you know, the iron will and the you know, the strong iron determination. But I don't really like him as a person. I think he's kind of incredibly selfish and like foolhardily ignorant to like what people are doing and saying around him. And I want that to be put in check, to be honest with you. I think what I want from that character is genuine, honest growth, in the sense that like you cannot just strong arm your way through the world. Like I understand the mentality, and like I said, that idea is blatantly baked into shonen. All right, I'm not like saying I want him to like do a fucking 180 and turn into like, you know, some isekai protagonist where he has like a midlife crisis and checks his whole world. But like, even if it's something as you know, as simple or whatever as like Luffy making a call, especially because he has this role as the captain of this crew, right? Luffy makes a call, let's say somewhere on a mission or something, and somebody gets critically injured because of it, or they lose whatever their objective was, right? It's like something that puts Luffy in a position where it's like, dude, you need to think about what you're doing, and it's not just about like what you want, all right? Like you have to consider all of these variables, all of these different angles, whatever the situation is, and what's the best thing for that situation. Because sure, you could just run into every situation and gum pistol your way through it, but like there might be casualties, or you might lose vital intel, or you know what I mean? And it's like, right now, like you said, he literally just feels like invincible. It feels like no matter what the problem is, you just throw Luffy at it and he'll beat it into submission, literally. So I want that. I want the character to be challenged, and I want like there to be growth in a sense that he's like to be honest, like just matures, grows up. Like, because I know he's like a kid, you know, I don't know what his age is, but like it's like, you know, I don't know. But like he does, you know, he strikes me as like immature from the standpoint of a kid. You know, he's like goofing around and playing in this fight here, and you know, but just a lot of these moments where it's like Luffy just strong arms his will into people's perspective and stuff, and it just, I don't know, it comes across like really selfish and like he's not really listening to what other people are saying.
It's like interesting because it's like he's trying to do something that is inherently selfless, right? In that he's trying to be there for his friends, but I understand what you're saying, but like there's an air of selfishness that comes along with it in the way that he can go about it sometimes. So like his intention, I don't think he's like, you know, like obviously we know he's not being malicious, or like his intent is not to be selfish. It just, you know, it's an interesting thing. You know, again, it's not necessarily like a knock in the sense that it's like you should like, you know, like how dare this even be an element in the show. It's just, it's something for Luffy as a character to kind of overcome. So I actually think that's cool, because then that provides, you know, to an extent, right? Because then it provides an opportunity for him.
Yeah, I mean, like look at like characters like,
which I think is what you're saying.
Look at characters like Usopp, right? Like I don't really like Usopp either, and it's for the same reasons. It's like obviously their characters are going to grow. I'm sure they're going to mature over time, and at the very least, you know, just get more experience under the belt so they make better calls. But when I say like, yeah, it's not like I think the character's written poorly, because like it's obviously very purposeful, right? Obviously the intent is for these characters to be like this, because you know this story's been charted out, and you know Oda, the creator of the show, wants there to be growth, right? He wants that growth to be charted through this journey. I just don't like it. like speaking from a personality standpoint, I don't like this personality of this guy who's like so ignorant and one track minded and narrow like focus that he's like literally not even like listening to what other people are saying, or like because it, again, like you said, it's good intention, but even if he's not trying to, it feels like he's just ignoring everybody and strong arming his way through this, you know, this situation, which doesn't, you know, let's put it this way, that's not a captain I'd want. That's not somebody that I'd be signing up to like ride or die behind. So that's all it is. Yeah,
you know how it is over here. Compliments and criticisms, nothing escapes. But you know, like Isaiah said, it's just part of it. When you watch a lot of anime and you get older and you look, and you know, you're looking at these things, it's like it's hard not to. But I think that's what provides a lot of the fun, is that you could be honest about some of the criticisms and or, you know, things that you liked or whatever, and you could like analytically break some of that stuff down. So it's a different perspective, but it's cool. But anyway, we've ranted long enough on this episode. The next episode, I think we'll get closer to the end of the arc, if not conclude it. So we're going to try and, you know, give a brief, you know, overview on what we thought of the arc as a whole, all characters included and all that kind of jazz. So definitely don't want to miss that. But if you like this video, the reaction, the banter afterwards, all that kind of stuff, make sure you're joining the conversation by commenting your thoughts down below. Also, like the video, does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. Share with your friends as well so they could comment and like, and you see where I'm going with this. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. If you haven't already, that is. I know all of you are subscribed, right? But if you're not, go ahead and do it. It takes 2 seconds, totally free. And hit us up in the description down below. We have a link there. It says Linktree. Click that link. It'll take you to all the other ways that you could support this show. Things like our Discord, which is free to join, make a new friend, talk some One Piece or anime, whatever you want to do, and stay updated. Great place to be for all of that kind of stuff. Also, hit us up on our social media, our audio-only platforms for prior podcasts that we've done and any that we will do in the future. And our Patreon is the biggest one if you want exclusive benefits while directly supporting us and what it is that we do, so we can bring you more content, better content for you guys to enjoy. Plenty of benefits to choose from. One of the key ones is early, unfiltered, and exclusive access to live reactions, obviously One Piece included. So if you want to watch One Piece in the way it was meant to be watched along with us, definitely head on over to Patreon. We greatly appreciate it. But until next time, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the flip. Peace.
Peace.
Ninjas are samurais, blazing the kunais. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly. They like what you saying. Goma got more through the storylines. I tested your neck from the start. My hunters gon' come for your heart. I promise you'll land in my boulevard. Left them in one piece. No